I kind of like it to have it recorded. I don't know. Maybe
Sure.
some other people want to
Yeah,
from the
of
group
course,
maybe want to
sure.
know.
I'm not saying I mind. I'm just saying that I personally don't need it to be recorded. Yeah. So yeah. The change that I like to just a bit of change to your backstory is like mostly the last part, your um, conversation with the elemental.
Yeah.
I very much like the way you wrote it, mostly, but I would like to just change some wordings there, and I think I would like to hint with the elemental a bit. So um, I would like to play out 3 scenes from the background. Um, the first one will be in the is it the early childhood part, where you are already on Osimar training during the training. The second one will be on your on your work that you've done for the Imperium, and I will have a couple of questions regarding that, just to specify a couple of things. And the third one will be your accident,
Yeah.
we should call it. Yeah. I did this with the others as well. So this is, as I said, mainly for me to add some stuff to your background, and just to have a more connection, more connections to the main plot of this the campaign that we'll be playing. Okay. Give me a second. I'll.
Is everybody else already done with this, or?
Yeah. I have finished. The last one was Julian and Nello. I've done this with them on Saturday.
No.
Um, yeah, but basically, I would have done it with you on Saturday as well, or Sunday, if you were home. But you know, we are not in a rush, so we still have plenty of time. If you couldn't, if you could only done it like this weekend, that's also fine. We're I'm aiming to start the campaign around maybe next weekend, like next Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on what's best for everyone. That's what I'm aiming for at the moment.
All right, that's fine. Like, I don't think I have any plans then.
Okay, cool. Okay then. So, um, mm, mm, mm. All right then. You have in the early childhood, you talked about that during your training. I'll just start this. Why not? Just to have some background noise, some learning library on ambient. Um, you have mentioned that as as it usually is, people didn't like you so much,
Mm.
or like the other Osimar didn't like you so much. As in the only Osimar train, there are only Osimars, as it's pretty obvious. And then I guess the way you wrote, I imagine that Jarvis didn't have too many friends growing up during the training.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was very secluded, very minding his own business, and just and learning a lot. And yeah, regarding this, if you want, so the racial trait of the Osimar is that you speak Celestial.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, did I not add that?
you added that. I'm just saying, is due to your background, the way you wrote your background, I would allow you to change that in case you want to change it to some other language.
Oh, the extra language was I based it off of the background that I took.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, yeah, you picked Elvish
Yeah.
as your extra language.
Yeah.
And you always speak common because everybody speaks common. That's and that's the common is the imperial language, basically, the language of the humans.
Yeah, and Celestial is because I'm an Aasimar.
Celestial is because you're an Osimar, yes. But if you want, you can change Celestial out to something else if you want. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that I'll give you that as an option due to your background
And
as an ambassador.
I don't know if I don't think that would make sense if I wouldn't be able to speak as a Celestial.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah. We'll just play out some quick scenes. So this won't take a very long time. Shouldn't think of anything like it. Won't take hours or something. And I mainly finished this. I think with Julian it was less than an hour. But that was the quickest. Okay. So, the wizard Jarvis, as he is studying in library at around 12 years old, so he very early into his training. Well, not very early, but because he's taken at 5. But after that, his father has not been sending him messages, letters, right? Because he only sent letters for 2 years.
I don't know if like the parents were able to visit their children in whatever the places they're training, so I just said he's just gonna send letters.
I mean, it makes sense. The training camp. Well, it's not like depending on what your chosen profession is, or what your parents choose for you. And in this case, your father was an ambassador, so you also went with that. So it wouldn't be taken away to a faraway military camp to train to be a soldier. So it's entirely possible that you are close enough that your parents could visit if they wanted. But I imagine your father is due to his work, he can't really do that because he's also traveling all around, and he's investigating what happened to your grandfather.
Yeah.
And you said your mother moved out of Equin, and your training would probably take place in Equin as the diplomatic hub for the Imperium, the capital.
Yeah.
That's where most diplomats are. That's where ambassadors are needed. But not as I said, where they are needed. That's where they are trained, and then sent out to every corner of the world. Right. So, your sheet won't be needed for this first one. But I did make a young adult character sheet for you in case it's needed. Well, yeah, it's not technically a young adult, just not your current self. It's a level 1 character sheet, basically, for you. I just decrease the stats and your HP from it. So you should see a young adult sheet. So it's not very young because at the time of the accident, and even the young adult stage, when you wrote it, he's around 30 or more. So he's 40 something, right?
Sick, -1 dexterity.
Yeah, basically all of your stats except sanity is lowered by 2.
All right.
That's just what, yeah. Yeah, he's 45. Or well, that 45 when he is already an officer in the company.
Yeah.
Which is the warriors. The warrior what? I forgot the name.
Yeah, what was the name again? Something about congregate?
Congregate. The warrior congregate. That's the name.
Yes.
That's the name. The warrior congregate. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, because so by the end of your story, you join the congregate, and you also have been in the congregate for a while now to become an officer, basically.
Yeah, I was expecting I'll be there like for like 5 years by the time we start our campaign.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah. So basically, when you join the congregate, so that could literally happen right at the end of the backstory that you wrote.
Yeah.
So right there in Kabir, as a level 1 warlock, basically, and in the congregate they probably won't bother themselves with you being a warlock, even if you don't tell them. It's just you don't hide it too much.
Yeah, maybe I do hide it. It would make sense.
It would make sense to hide. Yeah, 100%. I'm just saying the
Then
options. Yeah,
maybe like
it
later
makes sense
on.
to hide it, especially at the early on. Yeah.
Maybe like later on, I reveal it to some trusted members.
If you make some friends, or people, usually people are drawn to the organizations like this due to people in there. They really only care, well, not necessarily, but they mostly only care about the money. So they don't really care about you. So they don't hate you, which is already an improvement from general other people who just hate you for being fallen Aasimar.
Yeah.
So I can see that, so Jarvis would like the environment in the congregate.
What I was thinking, maybe like some of the higher officers would like ask me about my weird powers. They've never seen that before. What's up with that shield? And be like, maybe I'll like cave in at some point and say, yeah, I'm actually a warlock.
I mean, they wouldn't necessarily say that you are a warlock in character. You would say that you were given these powers, and not necessarily by a god, but some other powerful entity.
Yeah.
And that is what's forbidden, is to make weird pacts, because it's seen as a cult, and who knows what kind of powers are revealed, or what kind of entity you give an entryway to. If you make a pact with a very powerful but very evil entity, they could use you as a puppet and do what they want. So that's the whole logic behind these kind of warlocks being banned, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, the worship of evil gods is also forbidden, just like as warlocks, but they are openly evil. So with warlocks, it's more of a gray area, because many warlocks can be neutral or good even. So angels can have warlocks as well. So a celestial warlock would. That's in the Zonator's guide. They basically get cleric spells, so they can very much be like, yeah, I'm a cleric of some god, and everyone would believe them because they do the exact same thing as a cleric.
Yeah.
So that's super not suspicious. But yeah, for you it's a bit more. For you, so a good cover for you could be that, since you're a melee guy, you could pretend to be a paladin of Auriel, she's the Winter Queen, the goddess of winter and cold and ice and stuff like that. And you're also kind of doing that, the cold stuff and the ice shield, and heavy armor. So it's very believable that you are a paladin of Aurel, and she's a neutral goddess. So it's
Yeah, I
it's-
haven't really,
she-
I haven't, I haven't really thought about what kind of god I want to choose. Maybe I'll just go with Peller, like I did with my level 20 character, and maybe that went through the whole family so far. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's possible.
But
He is,
Oriole would make
very-
sense as well.
Yeah. I mean, he is the most worshipped god among humans. So you would find a temple to him everywhere. And as part of your cover, you're also maybe doing well. You're not like cheating on Pelor, just because towards the northern parts of Draymar, people tend to worship either Auriel or Walker. Walker being the god of the seas, and Auriel being the goddess of winter.
Mm.
Just because it's always cold, so they want her to be just not freeze them to death. And Walker, because they are mostly traveling on the sea, that they are praying to him to not bring any storms. And you apparently didn't pray, didn't give any sacrifice to Walker because you had a shipwreck.
I guess so. Maybe because of the shipwreck, I start praying to Walker now.
I mean, that's kind of how it happened to Darrow, who's Mogul's character. He was a sailor, had a shipwreck, and then he became the cleric of Walker.
All right.
Because I think he mentioned somewhat that he had a wreckage or something.
Yeah, he did. He said like, "Wow,
Yeah.
we're in the same boat."
Or not, because it broke. Yeah, okay. Right. So you can, Pale or Walker, both good picks, and Auriel makes sense as a cover to be. If there's a temple to Auriel, you could easily pay your respects.
I could just pray to both gods, wouldn't that work?
Yeah, it works since gods here are not well, depending on the god, they are not jealous of each other. One person can pray to many gods. Just they just can't. If they are a paladin or a cleric, they have to mostly pray to their own.
All right.
Because that's how they get their powers. And most people pray to multiple gods, who are not actual clerics and paladins, because you pray to the god that you want something from, and a peasant would mostly pray on the winter, pray to Auriel that she would be kind and not freeze everyone. During the summer, they would pray to Pelor to bring good weather and the sun, so that the crops could grow well.
Mm.
If it's a fisherman, they would almost always pray to Walker so that the seas would be calm, and stuff like that.
All right, that works.
Okay. Right. Okay. So, our first scene. We are joining Jarvis in the library as he's studying. Probably reading about some obscure history of Illunion, because he has chosen to learn Elvish, and probably then either he chose it, or it was chosen for him, so that he would be an ambassador for the among the elves for the Imperium, which is a very high risk position to be in, because the Illunion is the other, like superpower, you could say. So anything you do, anything you say, you must do so with the whole of the Imperium behind you, and everything you say will be reflected on the Imperium. But that's that's true for most ambassadors. So, but doubly so for one who goes to Illunion. And it would be well if you learned a lot about said history of the country that you go to.
Oh yeah, maybe I should have chosen history as one of my skill proficiencies.
If you want, you can still swap.
Yeah, I think I still.
We are still in a character creation.
Yeah, I think I still have one free skill that I can choose. I haven't done that yet. I can decide.
Yeah. So if you are, now your intelligence is 0. We have the house rule that your intelligence modifier gives you more proficiencies in whatever you want. So.
Alright.
So if you had a 1 in intelligence, that gives you an extra skill proficiency. But I think you haven't chosen 1, because I think you get persuasion by default, I think. Not sure.
I forgot.
Let's just quickly check it. That's why we are here after all. Well, part of why we are here. Okay, the Osimar. No, Osimar don't get skill proficiencies.
Why am I streaming this? I want to have it recorded. Maybe some people are.
Yeah, I thought you were already streaming.
Yeah, I am. It's Russell is
You
asking.
Oh. Okay.
I mean,
he's
someone
in the chat.
is like interested in this shit. I don't know.
Is Russell in the chat?
Yeah.
Hello, Russell.
Who wants to listen?
He's gonna know your backstory. It's dirty secrets.
Oh no. What am I gonna do?
Well, I trust Russell. He won't metagame, so it's fine. Yeah, so you can change one of your skill proficiencies if you want, but yeah, Osimar don't get skill proficiencies at all. So you only have the 4 skill proficiencies, 2 from your class and 2 from your background.
Oh wait, that is all of them then.
Yeah, that is all of them. Yeah, it's some races get 2 skill proficiencies, and the rogue, for example, gets 4 from the class, and then you get 2 from the background. So the rogue can start with 8 skill proficiencies, but most classes start with 4, depending on the race. Total of 4. You always get 2 from background and at least 2 from your class. Most classes get 2. So that you get start with 4 skill proficiencies. But even if you don't pick your history as a skill proficiency, I would say like history, you would get like advantage on a history check related to Illunion or the Imperium, because that's part of your background. Or depending on what the what the situation is. So it might be like a very obscure history. So, but it could still be good. Yeah. Anyway. Right. So if you want, you can change it. If you don't want to, that's also fine. I'll leave that up to you. I think the ones you picked make complete sense. Like the deception perception is like deception and persuasion are like very important for the ambassador, and also insight. So those three are like very essential. I feel intimidation comes from. Intimidation can also be useful as an ambassador, but not necessarily the most useful one, or in peace times anyway. in a war or a negotiation, or if depending on how much does Jarvis dwell into dark dealings like in the back market stuff, or just paying people off to get better or to get more information and stuff like that, then intimidation definitely comes into play.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do like a lot of what was that? Like dealing with dark entities or something, I don't know.
Yeah, like, just paying people off to spy on someone for you, or steal stuff just so you can blackmail them and stuff like that. That's what I think when I mean dark dealings. So from his alignment, it could be possible. Like just because you're neutral doesn't mean you won't dwell into these things. But since you're also lawful, he might not do some things like this. He would probably go by the book, mostly so. But I leave it up to you. Just because you're lawful, a couple of these things can still come into play.
Oh, wait. I shouldn't actually be allowed to have insight.
Yeah.
As a proficiency. Like, the background that I kind of worked on... that I made my ambassador thing about. I think I chose the noble background. And here it says skill proficiencies, history and persuasion. And the warlock doesn't get insight in proficiency, neither does the noble background. I don't know.
Oh. What does the warlock get? Warlocks don't get insight.
No. I mean, I can just switch out insight of history, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, since it's a custom background anyway, I think you can choose any skill you want for the ambassador.
Oh.
But if you want, if you want to swap out, it's fine. But if you want to leave it as is, it's also fine. So like a background is just basically
about it.
Gives you two skills of kind of your choice.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense for the background, for a noble, history makes complete sense. So they are always well brought up, and they are always learned in stuff. So history makes sense for a noble.
Yeah.
For you, insight could make more sense, but I think both work. Both could work. So it's entirely up to you.
I'm just gonna keep it like that for now.
Okay. Cool. All right then. So when we at this time, so when we join Jarvis, so he's not a warlock yet. So he's basically a level 0 character, in technical terms. And he basically doesn't have anything that's on your character sheet on the young adult. So he has no feat, no warlock keep abilities. He'll basically have just what he gets from Osimar without the feat.
All right.
But no, I don't think it will come into play. I'm just letting you know. Okay, so he's learning about some Elvish history, when you know there are other people around in the library, and some of them, you're still fairly young, and everyone else is also. You're around 12 years old, and your fellow classmates, you could say classmates, the people that you are, the other kids that you are in around the same age group, that you're taught in the same classrooms, in if you have classroom trainings or actual lessons. It's not uncommon, and you are kind of used to it by now, that they would come over to you and check on you, what you're learning, and mess with you from time to time. Just shove you from behind as you're hunched over a book, and shout mean things. I don't want to go into details. Just I think both you and I can imagine what kids would say. Just very petty insults thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
And how would Jarvis react?
Well, probably be sad, definitely, and I don't know, maybe look for a more quiet place, I guess.
Yeah, so Jarvis was like sitting in one of these large tables in the city's library.
Mm.
Then he moves out of the main hall, bringing this large book with him.
Like at this point, you already said I'm 12 years old. Like at this point, I probably would have already tried to talk to some of them, and maybe see there's no point because they think I'm different or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's very apparent you're different. So, like, all the other Osimar have these. So you're basically like, some of them have golden eyes, or not necessarily golden, just very, very bright eyes. Some have literally golden. Well, not literally, but golden-looking hair, which sparkles in the sunlight, and you have slightly darker skin, grayer skin, maybe, and
I do have skin. I do have skin.
And you do have skin, definitely. And so, we spoke about this, like, before you become a warlock, your eyes were kind of gray. And basically, you have this aura of slight darkness around you, as opposed to other Osimar who have slight glow to them, which makes you like very different. And you are definitely the rarer. So there are very few fallen Osimar here. Most of the fallen Osimar are going. They are in military camps. They go into training. They become soldiers mostly, and the other kids here are like, most of them are kids of nobles. And from what I gathered, your Jarvis is definitely not necessarily a noble, but he is from the city, right? But not necessarily like a very rich family. That's what I gathered.
Like,
but correct me if I'm wrong.
Like I was getting from, because what was his name again? Hark? Yes.
Hark, yeah.
Because he came from his bloodline. Maybe he's like a lower type of noble. Maybe just a normal, I don't know, some normal city dwellers in Aqua.
Yeah, like a mid to high middle class citizen in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not necessarily. Maybe your family has money, but not as much as a actual lord would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And but they are also not merchants. They are just living off the paycheck of your, even maybe your grandfather was probably very well paid, and that's gave a very good start to your father, who again got a very good job and gets paid very well.
Yeah.
Which also gave you a, well, not yet, but gave you a good head start. Definitely not coming from a peasant family. Okay, so as Jarvis has this large book, and kind of a bit kind of scared and sad. He's moving from the main hall of the library to like a more secluded area. Actually, what is your wisdom is 0 even at your adult, so just roll a d20 for me. It's a perception check, just with the +0, so it's just a d20. Actually, you could just use your main sheet as well, or whatever.
Or whatever, I rolled.
Yeah, it's a +0, so anyway. Yeah. As you're moving about the library, it's mostly empty. I would say like it's not early in the morning, but it's before lunchtime, where when mostly just kids are in the library and all the adults are like working somewhere. So as you're like moving and trying to find a secluded spot to read in peace and quiet, you see that this perfect little corner with just a small 2 chairs in a corner. It's a very dark corner, which doesn't bother you because you can see in the dark all Osimar scan, so you don't need lighting to read the book. And it's just a corner table with 2 chairs next to it.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna sit down there and study.
Jarvis sits down and gets comfortable in the chair, puts the large book down on the table. Dust flies up as he opens this old tome again. And soon after, Jarvis can hear someone's footsteps behind, and the next thing he sees is a figure pulls out the chair next to him. Well, not necessarily next to him, but like in the same table, and sits down. And it's another fallen Osimar. What?
Is he the same age or what?
No, it's an adult. It's an adult fallen Osimar. And he asks, what are you reading?
I'm studying Elvish degree.
Fascinating.
Hey, what do you want?
Just checking in. Give me an insight check.
Is it a +2 or not?
Yeah. The plus, it's the +2 is only because of your proficiency, not because of your good wisdom. So it's fine. Yeah. So you haven't seen this guy around. He has white hair, short white hair, eyes like milk. But otherwise, he looks like a normal human. That's why it's obvious he's a fawn Osimar as well. And you can kind of tell your eyes are you can tell when someone is an Osimar. You are used to identifying people like that. But the weird thing is that most of the people you see around here are teachers, students, or others like young tutors, but you haven't never seen this guy around.
So I'm gonna ask, who are you? Are you? I've never seen you at the academy. I guess I'm going to an academy or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've never seen you there.
academy. Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm just a visitor bringing gifts, and you can also see he has got black wings.
Oh,
That might be surprising, as not very few fallen Osimars. Well, Osimars have wings, so that's definitely a.
what did he say? Where he's from?
What?
Where is he from again? What did he say?
He said just he's bringing gifts, and he's come to check on you. And as he says that he's bringing gifts, he holds up a black feather, one piece of feather, and places it in front on the table in front of you. And as you with that, he stands up, and I must be going now.
I say, wait,
care.
whose is this? Why did you give this to me? And
As you turn around turn towards him to ask these questions, you can't see him anymore. And you look around, and there's nobody like in the vicinity.
I look at the feather and want to inspect it.
It looks like some very large, could be bird feathers, but could be from his wing.
His wing.
Well, you know, the
Like
Osimars have feathered wings.
It's
So
generally
like,
an Asimar wing.
yeah.
feather.
Well, it is black. It's a fallen Osimar's wings.
Okay.
Being yeah. Other Osimar have white feathered wings.
Hmm. Well, I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm just. I'll keep it for now.
Mm-hmm. You pick it up and pocket it, or you probably have a bag on you.
Yeah. I'll pocket it for now.
As you touch the feather, it tingles your fingers, and after just a couple moments, as you're like maybe looking it over after but before putting it away, the feather turns into a puff of smoke, which slowly fades away, and you feel stronger, feel motivated.
Motivated. Okay. Wait.
And you feel that others should obey and fear you.
Huh?
You gained the celestial magic feat with this feather.
Wait, what is that?
But that's the feat that gives you command
there.
and fear spells. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. That's cool, I guess. I thought I just learned it like at some point when I get older.
Feats not all, some feats are learned. Other feats, racial feats usually are some kind of gift or you're born with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they are racial feats.
Considering that this guy gave this to me at my age, I would probably suspect that many of the other kids don't have that yet.
Yeah, I would also suspect that you would try to command other kids.
Well, not now, probably.
not immediately, but you do feel that maybe maybe sometime when they are bothering you, and just shout at them to leave, and they immediately follow what you said and they leave.
Yeah.
And maybe Jarvis would be surprised.
Yeah, that would
at
make
the
sense.
first
Yeah.
couple of time, and then he realizes that he has this power.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, that was the first scene.
Like, probably I do is, like, unintentionally, when they, like, bully me, I say, go away, or some shit like that. And then they just leave. Right. Okay.
Well, a command is, as the limit on command is, it has to be a one-word command.
Yeah, like, leave.
So, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they shove you on the corridor. You drop notes and books, and you shout "fuck," and then the people around you.
And for the next 6 seconds, action starts going on.
Yeah, they start taking their clothes off, and for 6 seconds, and they realize, what am I doing? And
Shit.
here is AOE, so if he starts like screaming after some bullying or something, and then everyone becomes frightened of him.
Right.
For that lasts a minute, I think. Fear.
Does it?
And they run away.
Oh god.
It's a I know it's a
concentration up to 1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. And so they are frightened of you, which means they can't move towards you, and they can't attack. They can attack with disadvantage, and they has to, as long as they are within. I think as long as they can see you, or they are within 30 feet of you or something, they have to run away from you and take the dash action. So they have to run. Honestly, they can't run away. If they can't run away, I think they take the dodge action or something, or just do nothing. It's a pretty powerful spell. That's why it's a level 3 spell. You can cast it once a day, for free. So it's it's a nice spell.
Oh. As long as they can see me, otherwise. Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool.
The spell doesn't end if they can't see you, they just don't have to run away once they can't see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. You know, it's the same level of spell as the Fireball, and the Fireball is pretty powerful as well, and the Fear is the same level, so.
If the creature ends its turn in a location where it doesn't have line of sight to you, the creature can make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, otherwise they can't make the save again.
Yeah. Right.
They just have to run away.
Alright, good.
So it's actually a very powerful. And blind as deafness is also, like, you can choose if you want to blind or deafen a creature, and that they are blind. And it's not even a concentration spell. And they are blind for 1 minute, or deaf for 1 minute. But they repeat their saving throw at the end of each of their turns.
Yep.
But yeah, a blind is a very, blinding someone is usually pretty powerful. Depending, unless it's some kind of monster that doesn't need to see you. That's the only exception to that. But that's kind of rare. All right then. Our second scene is Jarvis, now well into his adulthood. He is on a job. Yeah, I wanted to ask about this. Do you have an idea where he would do most of his work, or he would just go where he is needed, not necessarily stationed at the one specific city?
I guess he would say it's just goes wherever it's needed. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
since I studied Elvish, I would say I would probably be somewhere, sometimes Ilwan, maybe even the Elvish tribes. I don't know if that is needed.
Well, that's definitely like a more dangerous mission. Like going into the Wood Elf tribes.
Yeah, I'm
But
not sure if they do politics or anything.
Very limited, not really. So that they are mostly just whoever comes to them, they get shot basically by arrows.
All right, then
mostly.
probably not.
Well, I can imagine like risky diplomatic missions to them just to maybe have some kind of relations, but they're definitely risky missions to do those. I'm just asking maybe where he could have been, but I imagine that he would definitely travel.
Yeah, I think I stated that he traveled the world a lot.
Yeah. So he could have been anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's
Okay.
alright. I'm a young adult now. I've done missions by this point. Yeah, I stated that I was like a supporting character for like these political missions. Not like I was by myself all the time.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they would let a fallen Asimar work by himself as an ambassador. I think the Imperium would probably think, this is too risky, let's send someone else with him. Probably.
Fair. I mean, depending on the mission, I would say that. So on the more high profile, riskier missions, or especially to the elves, specifically to the elves, maybe then you would get someone like as a babysitter to you. That's probably maybe how Jarvis would see it as, even though that he's very capable. Just that not even his superiors really trust him to. Even though they know he's good, they just don't trust him very much.
Yeah.
Maybe they know something else about his family or past.
Yeah, considering like the past at the academy, he's probably still a very reclusive person, maybe.
Yeah.
Like just partly reclusive. I don't know.
So many people maybe would see it as that he has something to hide, maybe, even though he doesn't really. He just doesn't like the company of others or many other people.
Yeah, probably.
All right then. So would you say it's possible that he's been to the very south to Tashik? It's one of the large cities in the edge of the desert, one of the large tabaxi merchant cities.
How many times would the Imperium send an ambassador there?
Well, there would probably be stationed ambassadors in each of the large cities. And they have constant trading relationships with them. So it's very important to have a good relationship.
I am what age now? Like 30 or something?
Around 30, yeah.
Maybe like once, I guess?
Okay, that's enough.
I'm not sure.
Well, if you don't think he would have went, then we can skip that part.
I mean, if
Well,
you have something prepared
will...
for this now, we might as well do it.
Well, it's not super specific to that city. This is these scenarios are not very strict.
Okay.
I just wrote down a couple of vague ideas. Then we are in Tashik, if you think he has been there.
Yes.
He is here to ensure a deal with one of the merchant lords. The way Tabaxi society works, Jarvis probably prepared ahead of time about this to know the customs and how to talk to everyone. The kind of the structure of government, you could say, here is that there's no. Each city governs itself, and each city has some amount, usually like under a dozen, less than a dozen lords, merchant lords. All lords, since the land doesn't is not worth that much, so lords are not based on land. They're based on just money, lordships. And they're, not lords as in the Imperium, where lords have castles and have villages that they rule over. They just own slaves, people, and trade routes, and they just make money and they live in the cities. And the most the ones with the most money, the richest of them, rule over cities. So they, it's kind of a small council that they do, and that's how things are settled and laws are made. But it's very complicated for the reason that each city rules themselves. So everything is politically very complicated. And you were sent to Tashik to ensure an alliance with one of these merchant lords, one of the largest houses, that they could represent the interests of the Imperium in Tashik. And on the day of your arrival, you arrive to you were taken to the mansion of this lord, and you see at the entrance as a young Tabaxi is thrown out the door by a black dragonborn, and they shout at him in the local language, the language of Tabaxi. You can tell what language they're speaking, but even if you don't speak it specifically. And the Tabaxi has blood on its hands, and then the dragonborn is a young fellow. For dragonborn, you know that dragonborn live slightly shorter lives than humans do, but he could be around 20 or even less. Dragonborn age, well, not age, they mature very quickly. They look like their adult selves around 12. So I'm not sure how sure you would be about this, but he's a younger dragonborn, standing in full plate armor at the entrance to this mansion. And you can roll a perception for me.
Perception.
Yeah. With your young adult sheet. Well, it's the same, I think, on the normal one anyway. Is it the new one? The 17?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the Dragonborn looks at you, bewildered. What you want here? Probably you were sent here alone, as in this is not a very super crucial mission. So there you had some locals paid that so they would bring you to the mansion because you had a name. And you see scrambling on in the sand in front of you this young tabaxi. He is wearing the locals' noble clothing, but he looks like he just woke up, and he is very flustered, and maybe he has been crying recently. And after a couple moments, he gathers himself and runs off. And as you kind of look into the door, you see local guards, tabaxi guards inside, laying on the floor in pools of blood.
The guards in pool of blood.
Yeah. So the guards, well, their bodies are laying on the ground inside, and the Dragonborn is standing at the entrance as he just threw out this young tabaxi. The young tabaxi couldn't have been more than 15. It definitely was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And inside you see several guards laying dead. And this Dragonborn is, as I said, full plate armor. On a 17, you maybe even see that the sword at his side it was recently used, and there's blood dripping from it.
What is he doing now?
He's just looking at you, like, what are you? He doesn't say anything, but his look betrays that he is like looking at you like, what are you doing here?
Do you have like a, I don't know, like a paper or something that specifies that I'm here on a political mission to...
Oh, you definitely have. You definitely have. Yeah. A paper saying that who you are, where you came from, who is your, who gave you the assignment. So you probably have, actually, since this is a political mission, some very high-ranking official, or even the emperor's seal is on your assignment paper, basically. You maybe even have a sealed parchment that you are not supposed to open, and just for the merchant, probably with the details of your agreement, like how much money he gets and stuff. That's probably not told to you. So, but you definitely have paper so you can just tell everyone that you have diplomatic immunity. You are if you are killed, the Imperium will come for you, and etc. You know, those kind of things.
Well, first I'm gonna ask what happened here.
Who are you?
I'm here on a mission to secure a trade deal, was it?
Yeah, trade deal.
Between...
Well, it's a trade deal. It's probably what you would tell anyone who asks about it, but it's basically paying off the merchant lord to support the Imperium's interests in the lawmaking and stuff. You know, basic corruption.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
For the Imperium.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep with the trade deal.
Yeah. That's the official story.
Yeah. So I tell him that I'm on a political mission to secure a trade deal between the Imperium and... what was the city called again? Tashik.
And I'll give you the Lord's name. Where is it? Lord Shafi.
Shafi.
Yeah,
Chaffee.
that's the. Yeah, that was the guy you were supposed to meet, and he's the supposed lord of this mansion.
Chaffee. Yeah, and I want to talk to Lord Shafi. Or I'm looking for him.
I'm afraid he is busy at the moment.
Who are you anyway?
I'm Zonintus, lieutenant, commander to the Warrior Congregate.
Warrior Congress. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. I know who that guy is. What are you doing here? It seems like something quite unfortunate has happened here, and I
Oh,
wasn't.
yes. The guards slipped. All of them.
I don't believe you.
You say that you don't believe him?
I guess so.
Well, I'm not here to convince you of anything. And he steps back and slowly starts closing the door.
They like. Wait. I'm not sure what the fuck to do there now. So it seems like, I don't know. Have I heard the name before of these mercenaries?
You can roll a history check.
Jesus Christ! Why'd I keep rolling so high? Is that real?
Yeah, you definitely heard of them. You have heard of this as an Imperium-based mercenary company. Who can be found? They work everywhere in Draymar, mostly, and they do take on missions of eliminating people. So it would be very you could assume that whatever happened inside means that Lord Shafi is either dead or soon will be. And your deal is probably off. It's very good to assume.
I don't think I can fucking fight my way through these mercenaries either.
Yeah. So right now, you would be around like a level 1 fighter because you're not warlock yet.
Yeah.
But you got like a training, so you would be equal to level 1 fighter. And you know of them that this is a trained mercenary company, and you're not exactly equipped to deal with this. You probably have a sword at your side, and you might have like light or some medium armor on you, or maybe just robes as prepared for the desert climate, so you don't wear armor, just a sword, because you're not here to fight. So
I would probably know that the trade deal that I'm for is probably about corruption as well, wouldn't I?
yeah, I mean, yeah, you know the terms, so that you were here to ensure. Well, it's corruption to them. To you, it's ensuring the interests of the Imperium. It's from your perspective, it's just making sure the Imperium gets what it wants. But the means of how you do that is by getting friends, which sometimes it involves money, paying off people.
Well,
so you take that how you would, but yeah. So it is corruption, yes. But in this world, this is this is not unusual. So people getting bought all the time.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of. So it wouldn't be. This on its own is not super bad per se. It's not nice for someone to do this. but it's not super bad either. And almost everybody does it. It's all about who pays the most, and the Imperium can usually pay more than everyone else.
Yeah, what my next step would be, well, I'm definitely not gonna fucking run in there and storm my way in there and like, where's the Lord? I have to make a deal with him. That would make any fucking sense.
Yeah, fair.
I would consider what my best option here is now, because I fucking went all this way just to figure out that the Lord I'm supposed to make a deal with is dead. What I'm thinking is, maybe go to the second most what is it? Most rich lord in
Yeah,
this city and try to maybe strike a deal with them. Because the first richest lord is fucking probably dead.
yeah. So to do that, you need to.
Yeah, I would have to ask a local or something.
Yeah, you need to find out, and you need to first. So the letter you have, the sealed letter that I mentioned, is probably addressed to specifically, namely to Lord Shafi.
Yeah.
So you would need to either write your own letter and make a fake seal, or try to forge the one you currently have to fit whatever you need.
Or I explain the situation to the lord and say, we still want to make a deal with someone in the city, someone powerful, to secure a future relationship.
Yeah. And this unfortunate event happened to Lord Shafi. So
Yes.
he was not available.
Yeah, let's say that, exactly. Also, how you doing,
He
Cam?
changed his mind.
Yeah, I guess. No, that wouldn't make any sense.
Nah. You know, so people in the city probably know of this, or soon will know about it. As you could see that they are not hiding the thing that they have done.
I mean,
So
yeah,
it
the
wasn't like
two guards were literally, like, laying
at the
there.
door. Yeah, yeah. So they just came in and killed someone, and they threw out someone. You could maybe guess that it was the son of the Lord. Maybe they didn't kill him because from his clothes, like he was also wearing fine and nice clothing.
All right.
Yeah. So for that part, we can fast forward that much that you manage to find out who you need to talk to.
Mm.
Lord Nobu,
Nobu.
written like this, is another very influential lord in the city. And you can arrange a meeting with him.
I'd probably
And you say that
speculate
you
that.
don't want to...
I would probably
Yeah?
speculate as well that he might be behind this being the second most powerful, or whatever it is.
Well, Lord Chaffin wasn't necessarily the most powerful, but he was one of the most powerful ones.
Yes.
It's hard to tell who's exactly the most powerful, but he was one of them, the most powerful ones.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
can find
go.
out Lord Nobu is another one.
I'm gonna go with the what is it? I'm gonna think that there might be some bad blood between those two.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I would try to maybe strike a deal with him.
Okay. So you can definitely, like, since from your papers, you can definitely arrange a meeting with basically anyone, because you have legit papers to show who you are. And also, by the way, just so you know, you are definitely an outlier among the people here. Mostly here are tabaxi and elves, since the Tashik is across the bay, a gulf from the elves. So elven ships come and go very often. And there are a mix of kind of all races, also fairly a lot, not a lot, but there are tieflings, lizard folk, and wood elves even, and humans, and maybe even a couple of dwarves and a couple of dragonborns. But mostly are tabaxi, and you don't see Osimar, but that's normal in that you don't see Osimar anywhere either. So it's seeing Osimar on the streets just walking around like a normal person is not a thing at all. So
yeah.
right. So you can arrange a meeting with Lord Nobu.
Yeah, I would do that, yeah.
And you're shown into his chambers where he does his dealings, and you can see his scribe in the corner, and he's dictating something as you walk in Tabaxi, so you don't know what he's saying. He's also Tabaxi, as most of the people you meet here are. And you can imagine a large, a very large chamber with no seats, no not no seats, no chairs, just tables surrounded by pillows, in those Arabian style, and there are like curtains hanging from the ceilings everywhere. Lord Nobu has a water pipe as what he smokes between sentences. And it's this fairly larger man, Tabaxi. What you would imagine like a very successful trader would look like. And he's an older one as well. He sees you and gives you a grimace, like he is not entirely welcoming you. Doesn't like your presence here, but he has no choice in the matter. But he forces a smile and waves you over to approach. He's sitting at a table, but he's just sitting on a pile of pillows and cushions as he does this. Holds up his hand to his scribe, and he quickly gets up and walks out. There are guards standing at the entrance that you came in. But other than two guards at the entrance, only the two of you are in the very large room. It's like arranged like a throne room, and there are like a lot of cushions on the sides with tables. But there are nobody else, just him and you. And he's sitting at his own table, like a work table kind of, with a lot of papers and stuff. And he says, "What brings you to my chambers, outsider?"
I'm gonna say that I'm here on behalf of the Imperium to strike a deal between your beautiful city and Aquin, I guess, or just the Imperium in general.
Well, you know, it's you could say that it's between Aquin. You know, even IRL people say instead of the country, they say the capital, as in because the capital is the brains usually. That's where the government or king or whatever resides. So you could say that between Aquin, and even just to like make them more comfortable that that it's a city between city relationship, not between a country and a city.
Yeah.
So it's an equal relationship, you know, just thinking with a diplomat's hat.
Yeah. So yeah, between Tashiks and Aquin.
Yes. Well, I have heard of such a deal. Weren't you supposed to strike something like that with Lord Shafi?
That is true, and I find it interesting that you know about that, but to us it just comes I know I was supposed to make a deal originally with Lord Shafi, but as I've earlier seen, Lord Shafi is not available at this time.
He chuckles as you say that.
Okay, I see. So, I would like to ask you to take the deal rather than him.
Do you take out the letter that was meant for Lord Shafi?
I already mentioned that I was supposed originally to go to Lord Shafi, so I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, just the letter has the details, the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah. So
And you hand it to
it
him?
would be quite unfortunate for me and our future relationship from city to city if I went back empty-handed.
And with that, you hand the letter, or you
Yes.
just take it out?
Yeah, I just hand it.
You hand it over. Yeah. So he takes it. He thinks about. He's thinking for a couple of moments. He's looking the letter over. And without opening it, he just reaches for a lamp that's burning, an oil lamp that's burning on the table, and just holds the letter above the flame until it starts burning, and he says, "We don't want the Imperium to meddle in our matters. We don't want you here, and we don't want the likes of Shafi to be here. Guards, take this half-breed. I don't want to see him ever again."
Well, I just say that is too sad, and I don't like fight back. Just go, I guess.
The guards, well, if you don't fight, the guards will just escort you out. They don't like forcefully shove you or anything. And with that, you probably go home, I would assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else I can do.
And your superiors wouldn't be very happy with the results. Maybe even blame you for it, even you know that it wasn't your fault. And maybe that's why they send you into the unknown, well, not unknown, into the icy north for a very shitty mission.
I would inform them also about Lord Nobu, but I
Well,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if they would believe me. I don't know.
Maybe they believe you. You are not sure if they believe you. But they just want to. You become the scapegoat that this deal fell through. In the court, you will be very much the scapegoat, and you're not fired. But that's not really a thing they do. But you will just get shitty missions from now on, and maybe that will be a catalyst to not coming back after your accident.
Okay, so you plan on this.
I mean, I just took your backstory and I wanted to give reasons for stuff. Okay.
All right.
Then we switch scenes to an icy landscape. You are on the ship. Yeah. So I wrote down for myself the whole conversation with the elemental, which will play out momentarily. And it won't be word by word the same way that you wrote, just so I can input some stuff, and also yeah, basically that's it. Yeah, and probably will be a bit shorter in places because you did write a lot. And yeah, but yeah, no. I just want to say more things with less words. You know, why say why use lot word when few do thing or whatever.
Thing.
Oh,
Oh god.
but there's a saying that.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, so we are in the far north. After you've probably done your assignment after in where have you been? Skutwick. You have been to Skutwick, which is one of the. It would be called the capital of the Northlanders. But they don't. They have tribes, and the tribes elect a king from the leader of all the tribes. But the tribes still fight amongst each other, so it's not like a united nation. They're but in times of war they come together, but otherwise they are not super organized as a one nation. But Skutwick is definitely their largest settlement, and that's why you would go there on a diplomatic mission.
Yes.
And it's probably a winter in winter times, as otherwise Skutwick is actually fairly to the south, so in the summer it's there's no snow there. But in the winter it's definitely very snowy. What is Jarvis doing on a ship?
Wait, what ship are we on? Are we going back to?
You're going back, yeah. In the backstory just before the accident.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just waiting to go home. I don't know.
Waiting to get
Yeah, I'm not doing anything
rid of
particular.
yourself of this cold,
Like
this unforgiving place.
Maybe I'll be in one of the lodges or whatever, somewhere I can be inside and maybe like read a book or review the last mission.
Yeah, so there's a storm raging outside, which it's nothing unusual for this part of Tremor, and maybe you have gotten kind of used to all the blizzards happening, and you hear the howling of the blizzard through the cracks in the boat.
Good for concentration.
Yeah, I mean it is calming, and you are reading a book inside your cabin when the winds you hear them getting stronger, and you hear lightning. Definitely a storm approaches, and as minutes pass, it's getting heavier and heavier, the wind. And then suddenly the whole ship is moving, and you slide down from your chair. The oil lamps hanging on the ceiling go flying in the ship. Your book and everything just turns upside down, and you hear the crack of lightning striking very close somewhere.
Yeah, I start going outside, see what is going on.
You see that the mast has split in two. It's burning, and everybody's panicking.
I don't know what to do in this kind of situation, so
Yeah, you're not a sailor.
yeah. I try to ask a sailor, I guess. What do we do? What do we do?
you grab someone by the shoulder, and he's just like screaming, "Walker, take us! We are forsaken. This is the end." And he jumps into the water. You might have seen Lothlanders being to you super crazy, and they swim in these icy waters. And as he jumps in the water, after a couple of moments, he surfaces. But you have been on the sea for half a day by now, and you can see land, but it's pointless to swim. Nobody could make it to shore, especially with the waves.
Yeah, I explained the waves are very, very high.
Yeah, well, not as high to like cover the whole ship,
Yeah.
but now with no mast, the ship like goes crazy, and it becomes uncontrollable. All the sailors are either jumping into the water or running towards the small rowboats.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna
But
get a...
even they are like getting ripped off of the ship by the winds. The winds tear into you as well. So like maybe since you were in your cabin, you don't have your large winter cloak, and it's extremely cold, and you're definitely feeling it.
By this point, I already got the letter, right? Yeah.
The what?
The letter.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm gonna try to get on a lifeboat, even though probably everyone is rushing to those.
Yeah. There's also like there isn't a lot of them. Some get thrown off, and as you like try to make your way over, make your dexterity save. Okay. You see as the mast, which is broken, like swing and slide over the whole ship as the ship starts like turning over slowly, and the mast as it flies by you, you kind of like very
Instinctively.
Yeah, that's the word I can't say right now. Instinctive. Yeah, no. My tongue is not cooperating. Anyway, your reflexes are insane. So you duck, and the mast, this large wood, flies overhead as and it crashes into waves. And soon after, the ship just turns, and you are pushed underwater. But the mast didn't hit you. And you're in freezing water, so roll a Constitution save. The water is freezing, and you get this. And I'm not sure if you IRL you have jumped into like extremely cold water.
I've taken a cold shower once.
Well, it's not the same. There's one place here where in most places here where there are saunas, you have cold swimming pools.
Yeah, I only had showers after those.
Yeah, and I've been to one place where they put ice cubes into the pool as well, and it's around 4 degrees the water with the ice cubes included. There's like a thermometer next to it, so you can check. And in coming out from the like a 75, 80 degree sauna, you can jump into the ice cold water, and I've done that, and it's definitely an interesting experience.
It's very refreshing, that's for sure.
Super refreshing, but it's also like a very high stress, and it's very hard to convince yourself to do it. But after you have done it a couple of times, you realize how good it is. And yeah, so
I would love to do that once. It sounds amazing.
It is actually. I actually love it. I like when there's whenever I do saunas, I don't do sauna if there is no like a cold pool next to it
Mm.
or something. Yeah, so that's what Jarvis is feeling right now, except he has his clothes on and everything. So he's being. It's very hard for him to stay afloat, but he keeps his consciousness. But he's the whole ship is above him, and it's very dark. He can see kinda, but it's very hard to navigate in the what's up, what's down, as the waves are constantly rumbling.
Yeah.
And you can roll an athletics.
Great.
So it takes him a while, but very slowly manages to surface and pull himself up to a nice plate, one of those large ice pieces.
Yeah.
But he's extremely exhausted. He can barely move himself by the time he manages to swim up and find his way. It uses all his strength, and that is when he sees the light. Faint blue light right in front of him.
I approach.
So Jarvis has so little power left. He can only crawl on the icy surface, and it's very slippery since he's very wet, and the ice and the water combined makes the surface extremely wet and slippery. But he slowly makes his way over to the shining light.
Before I touch it, I want to look around. If there's any people in the water or something.
Roll perception check. Jarvis thinks about the other people, but his strength is waning, and he can only really focus on this. This it looks like a shining blue bump on the ice.
I put my hand on it.
It doesn't feel cold. It feels very gently warm to the touch, even though it looks like ice. And it feels like ice to the hand, but Jarvis feels better. His hands are not freezing anymore. Like, he can barely move his hand, and he's probably like shivering. But as he touches the shield, his hands are revitalized again, and he hears. I imagined. I don't think you wrote this, but I imagined it would be like a gentle female voice. Is it fine with you?
Yeah. Sure, yeah. I guess the name I chose would probably be female.
I mean,
do elementals...
from where I got the name, they said that this is a unisex, so...
Yeah, the thing is...
whatever you want it to be.
Elementals probably don't have genders.
No, they don't have genders.
But whatever.
I just imagined a gentle female voice.
Yeah.
But I won't have a female voice, so you have to imagine it.
Well, fuck it, then let's go with male.
Sure. Then it's a gentle male voice who is who sounds comforting and friendly. You have done so well, Jarvis.
I hold my head. What is this? What is going on?
There's still a long way ahead of you. I need you as much as you need me.
Who? Who? Who's talking?
My name is Glavasilis, and you have found my shield, or it has found you. If you are willing to make a sacrifice.
Why would I do that? Who are you? What is... I'm just like...
I am something you would call an elemental.
Elemental?
And to me, it seems like in your situation, you do not have a choice. Do you freeze to death? Far from everyone, far from your family that you seek to find. I can feel there's great turmoil inside of you. I am extending a helping hand as long as you're willing to give yourself to me.
I get a slight smirk on my face, with a light grin. And I think back to the letter I got from my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and think, and say, there hasn't a better chance to do this now than ever. I accept.
Well then. Are you, if you're ready, you shall receive the gifts I have to offer. These gifts will brand you as a criminal. Everyone will look down on you, but there is no strange. It's no strange. You're no stranger to being discriminated against.
Well, I've had many experiences about that, so nothing's gonna change.
But there is great change ahead. The world has been changed. Your blood has changed it. And you shall do that again. With my help. And you in my service.
I guess like at this point I'm on the brink of fainting probably.
After you said you after you said you accept your body, you don't feel the cold anymore. You feel a slight warmth, like when you're like sitting at the right in front of the fire, and when you know you're outside in the cold for a long time, and you finally get inside and go up to something warm, to the radiator or to the fire. You feel that tingle in your hands and body, and that's how Jarvis starts feeling.
Okay.
After he said he accepts. And just because I really like this line. I am thou, and thou art I. Shape the waters of time into your favor so that you may uncover the hidden truths shrouded in your path. Come forth, Jarvis. Cross the gap between future and past. On with the powers of a Frostbringer. That was a super good line. I really like that. And Jarvis is blinded for just a moment, and he feels everything he had on him dry, and he feels exceptionally well rested, like he just had the best sleep of his life. Maybe in the past, the best sleep he has ever gotten, but definitely the best he has gotten in the past couple of months or years. And he finds himself in a city he probably knows. He has traveled through the city countless times, coming from a mission or leaving for another one, leaving the Imperium. This is the city he first stops by, unless he takes a ship, and it's Kavir. And he has the shield on him. The shield is standing on his back. This time, without the blue glow, it looks like a normal shield that is, upon closer inspection, slightly translucent, not as in ethereal, as in it like glass, like ice.
Yes.
Like very clear ice.
Right.
But from far away, it looks like a normal shield, but but a very finely made one. With I'll let you what emblem on the, I was thinking of your family crest if you have one, or it could be changing on your on at your will, whatever is on the shield. Since this is a very nice shield, and it has the weight and statistics of a steel shield. So it's the weight kind of if it was made of steel. So if anyone just checks the shield, it looks like it's a steel, finely made shield.
Is there any difference to a steel shield and a normal shield?
Just the durability, not from stats.
Okay.
And I still haven't finished. I have started making the stats for it, the exact stats, but I haven't finished. I'll definitely finish that by the time we start playing. That is one of my homeworks. If you have, so you said you liked Sentinel Shield ability, what it does. So you could use a two-hander and the shield, right? That's why I wanted it, right?
Yeah, that sounded very cool, in my opinion.
You might get that, but not from the start.
Okay.
Because it's a very rare magic item, the Sentinel Shield. So it would be very powerful for you to start with that. But I will think about it. You might get it as from the start. But I definitely want to team the whole thing around the ice and things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And and the last finishing, as he looks around and Jarvis is in the city, he feels the weight of the shield and he looks back, he sees it. This is my gift to you. First of many. I suggest you find someone who can help you on your further quest. Find new companions. And from this point on, we can only meet in your dreams or if you must find me, look deeply into the water.
And that's how I forge my way at some point into the. What was the fucking name again? The Warrior Congregate.
The Warrior Congregate.
Yes.
Yeah, you already heard of them.
Yes.
So it would make sense that you look them up afterwards. And that's how you became a warlock.
Yeah. That was good. Was there a way I could have struck a deal with that guy? Nobu.
No, because basically the background of that, which could Jarvis could look into it because he would definitely be interested, and it definitely be ways for him to find out. Basically, Lord Chaffee was he was a kind of corrupt lord from the beginning, and nobody liked him in the city. That was maybe not known to outsiders. That's why but he was an easy target to pay off, and all the other lords arranged to kill him.
All right.
So then and all the other lords were not interested in deals like this.
Okay.
So there was basically no way.
Interesting.
And I feel that this flows very well into like, all right, you met the mercenary company who basically made your job impossible, which made you go on a shitty mission, which made you go almost die, which made you go become a warlock, which made you go back to the mercenary group to join them because you already know them and you know they are kind of good.
Yeah. That does make sense. Yeah, I like that.
I hope I didn't ruin the story that you have imagined.
Nah, this is kind of how I imagined it.
Cool. I'm glad you liked it. And basic since the roles were there just to give you extra flavor what happens. The outcomes were going to be mostly the same, except you got some extra information maybe.
I imagine if I were to get hit by that ship mast, I probably wouldn't have been conscious in finding the shield, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably lay there like half dead and like, oh fuck, what do I do?
Pretty much.
I mean, it's how I imagined it actually. I would be like knocked out on the ice and then I'll wake up and like, what the fuck? I'm almost dead. But yeah.
Well, you were because of the 6 athletics, you were still kind of almost dead.
Yeah.
Spending a lot of time underwater.
Yeah.
In this instance, like the athletics was a fail on the check, but it wasn't a fail like you couldn't do it. It just took you more time. That's how you failed. So you just took more time to do what you wanted to do.
All right. Well then.
Yeah.
I guess...
and now that's all the use for your young adult sheet. So you can, if you want to write, add any details from today's session to your sheet, you can do that to your actual sheet, not the young adult one that won't be used anymore. It just was for today's session, unless I'm not ruling out the possibility that we will do some remembering backstory things, maybe. But I have no idea as for that. I'm just saying that it might happen, maybe. But it's hard mid-campaign. Well, it could only be done like this in the one-on-ones, because it's hard to you guys didn't know each other in your backstories, so And oh, by the way, so the guy you met, the Dragonborn, he was the lieutenant at the time, and after all the happenings there, he became the commander, and he was already the commander when you joined the
Yeah,
company.
I remember his name when when we talked about the company.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's this guy. It's the fucking commander.
Oh, and he's not the only one who would who you would remember from that encounter. Shiro, one of the other officers in the company, was the guy who was thrown out.
Wow.
If you want to note that down somewhere, that's Julian's character.
Oh, did you talk about my character on his one-to-one session?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
He had no interactions with you other than you saw him getting thrown out from the house.
Oh, so he didn't even
But
look at me.
no, he just ran away. Yeah, for him. So the way his session happened, he had stuff going on inside the mansion, and he ended with him being thrown out.
Hmm.
That's how it ended for him. That scene, anyways.
Interesting.
And you saw that scene happening. You saw him getting thrown out.
Yeah, but I don't know that it was him at this point. Like, I didn't hear his name or anything.
So you didn't know him then, but after you joined the company, you met him, and you guys know each other already, and you could have recognized him from looks. So it happened a couple of years before we start. So I think we discussed that he's the last one to join. So you have been in the company for a couple of years, and he comes and joins the company. And that's when you would see him and recognize him. But I didn't tell him that you know this, so it's up to you if you want to let him know that you know that he is who he is.
Yeah, I would probably ask him, do I know you from somewhere? You seem kind of familiar. And then I would mention Lord fucking name Shafi, exactly.
Shafi, yeah.
And then yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. We can do that once we start playing.
Yep.
And I really got to pee, so we're back.
I gotta take a piss as well. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Hey.
I'm back as well.
It took 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it took a bit longer. It's because well, the second scene was a bit longer.
All right.
But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. I guess this concludes the session then.
Yeah. It's that's it for today.
All right.
And stay tuned for the doodle I'll post soon.
All right.
TM.
TM.
Yep.
To be
Definitely stay
announced. Come back next week for a new episode.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks for the session then so far. It was fun.
I'm glad you had fun. These one-on-one sessions are definitely more. Well, there's much more special, I think.
Yep. I'd be very interested in how the other sessions would have went. What they have done.
You mean
shit.
yeah. So like you would like watch what everybody did.
Yeah.
Well, since everybody has maybe some kind of secret to keep, I think it's better that you guys don't know. You may find out as we play.
Well, I already fucking blew out in the wind that I'm a fucking warlock.
Well, yeah.
The only other secret that I have is probably trying to look into what happened 120 years ago.
Yeah. That's your origin story. Well, okay. We'll see what happens later.
All right, I'm hyped. I'm pumped. What you're gonna let us do? Kind of quest
Well, it's gonna
do.
be half. I really want to give you guys freedom, somewhat like in Curse of Strahd, where you could like choose where to go, but there was still like a main story that and goal that you had to work for. You know. That's kind of the plan in terms of like structure. I think. Yeah. I'm not saying anymore because it's spoilers. Yeah.
All right. All right. I guess that's it then. I wish you.
That is it.
A good evening then.
Good evening to you as well.
And see ya.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. That's it. That's it. That's the story of my character. You like it? Amazing. I fucking wrote like 6 pages of fucking background story. It goes so fucking far. Where is it? Bio. Dude. Fucking character backstory. There's so much shit I've written. Fucking. Where is it? I am thou. Thou art I. Shape the waters of time into your favor so that you may uncover the hidden truths shrouded in the past. Come forth, Jarvis, and cross the gap between future and past. On with the power of a Frostbringer. Fucking Christ. And with a loud bang around him in a blink of an eye, Jarvis finds himself in Kavir again. Bro! Anyway, see ya. I'll highlight this for later. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna cut the stream now. See ya.